Hi, I'm Bill Woodard,
And I'm Brenda Curtis with TB Sutton General Store here in Granville, Tennessee.
and this is the Chamber Corner. Okay, we're here at the TB Sutton General Store, and we're giving you kind of a panoramic view of the place. Why don't you tell everybody what you guys do here at the TB Sutton General Store?
Well, we have a lot of variety of things here at the store. We do festivals all year. We have 6 of those coming up this coming spring and summer. We do a Sutton Old Time Music Hour every Saturday night with a meal and live bluegrass show. We serve fried bologna sandwiches every day and hand-scooped ice cream here in the store Wednesday through Saturday.
Okay, well, and you may say, well, are these guys in Smith County? Well, you're a mile out of Smith County, and they're members of the Chamber of Commerce, and most of the people that come to Granville come through Smith County to get here, don't they?
Yes, sir, they do.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Now, you folks won't be able to come to this because by the time this airs, it'll be over, but you've got something special coming this weekend, is that right?
We do. We have a ladies' day out fashion show and luncheon.
Okay, and I know there's a ribbon cutting tomorrow, I believe.
Yes, sir, at our new gift shop. It's called Granville the Shops of Granville.
Okay, yeah, which is just down the store, down the road from the store here.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And then, of course, the museum is this way, and there's a lot of things. Now, this show will play all the way up into April. So, what have you got coming in toward the middle or end of April that would be interesting to these folks?
We have the Upper Cumberland Wine Show on April 13th.
Okay, and whole street blocked, or what's going on with that?
It will. We do it over in our Pioneer Village, and we have wine tasting. We'll have vendors and stuff that have things to do with wine, and a big day.
Okay, and there's people come from all around,
Yes,
I
sir.
imagine.
I think, and don't quote me on it, but I think we got 7 wineries coming.
Okay, so that is going to be a big day then. Okay, well, folks, if you want to have some fun and you want to see something that is really interesting, you can come to historic Granville, Tennessee, to the TB Sutton store. And, of course, the museum, when all this is going on, the museum's open, is that right?
It is, yes, sir, and the gift shops also will be open during that, too.
Okay, so there's a lot of things going on here at Granville, Tennessee. So you guys come on down and see us. Okay, we're still here at the Sutton store, and we had some guests come in, and I'm going to let you guys introduce yourself. Tell them who you are.
I'm Jessie Harville.
Kyle Harville.
All right, and Jessie, Kyle, who are you guys with?
We're with TriStar Lawn and Landscape in Carthage, Tennessee.
Okay, and I want to take this opportunity. These guys have joined the Smith County Chamber of Commerce, and we're presenting them with your plaque, and we would hope that you display that at your business and let people know that you're members of the Chamber. Now, I would like to, obviously you got the t-shirt on, TriStar Lawn and Landscaping, and why don't you tell them, first off, the phone number that they call to get in touch with you guys?
It's 615-735-6208.
Okay, all right, and what do you guys do? What's your main focus?
Our main thing is mowing. That's what we started out with and kind of the biggest part of our business, but we also do landscaping, full service landscaping, anything from landscape maintenance to installs to trimming, anything that you need landscape yard work wise, we can do.
Okay, well now it sounds like she does all the work. Is that the way?
Most of the time.
I do, yeah, I'm sure.
I do my best. I do my best.
I'm sure you guys are a team on this without doubt. Okay, so what you're saying then is if you've already got your landscaping in place, you guys can come in and you can keep it up to par and do the trimming and stuff. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what about install? Can you do anything? Maybe tell some of the things that you guys work with.
Yes, we can remove old landscaping if it's old, overgrown, been there too long, anything like that. We can pull out, we can remove, and we can start all over. We actually have software that we can take a picture of your house, plug in new plants, new design, whatever you want to do, we do a lot of rock work. We have rock in stock at our shop all the time. We do about 3 different ones. We've got some Pigeon River and some Tennessee River rock that are all decorative. We also do mulch, so we can add that at any time. But anything landscaping wise, we can probably tackle it.
Okay, well now you mentioned the shop. Tell them where it's located. I know, but maybe some of these guys don't.
We're at 54 Dixon Springs Highway in Carthage. We're directly across the road from Pizza Hut.
Okay, and everybody knows where Pizza Hut is, right? Because it's been there forever,
Right.
Seems like. Okay, and what do you keep there in stock at the shop? Say somebody's wanting to do their own landscaping, can they come by and pick up stuff from you guys?
We will have stuff in the spring. We do anything from bedding plants to hanging baskets, ferns, that kind of thing in the spring. Probably in the next month or so, we'll start stocking those. But we also do some shrubbery, things like that. We keep some of that, roses, those type things in stock also. And then we have mulch and rock, like I mentioned earlier, that are ready for purchase as well. If you have a truck and trailer, you're welcome to pick that up at any time, but we can also deliver those things.
Okay, and you mentioned bedding plants. Now, is this strictly ornamental, or do you do some of the vegetable plants too?
We don't do vegetable at this time. We are only doing flowers right now, and then we also have mums and pumpkins in the fall.
Okay, so you do have seasonal offerings then. Okay. All right, well, folks, if you got anything you're thinking about doing landscape-wise, it sounds to me like you're the folks. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, UT Extension has come by. You guys are all over the place in the county, and I think your cohorts is kind of out of town today. Chris is traveling, and Katie was tied up in a meeting, so they asked you to come and speak for everybody, right?
Well, sure.
Okay, yeah, Mary, you can handle it, I'm sure. What did you want to tell us about today?
So, with all this rainy weather, I'm really excited about spring. I'm sure everybody is. And when spring comes, I always want to get outside and exercise. So we have 2 programs coming up to deal with walking. We have Walk Across Tennessee, and this is a program that anybody in the community can do. It's basically a competition, a friendly competition. Members need 8 members or less in the team. You can't have more than 8 members in a team, and then they go through the program for 8 weeks. It starts April the 1st, and you need to be sure to sign up by March 25th. And you can either call the extension office at 615-735-2900, or on these flyers that you'll see all across the community, you have a URL address on there to sign up, and everybody needs to sign up on a team, and then the team captain also needs to sign up the whole team.
Okay, all right, and you also have stuff going on with FCE and different groups going on all the time. You got anything going into April that you can remember now?
Yeah, so our FCE clubs, we have 9 in the community. We're really excited about the Manual House getting back together because we, in April, have our annual rally, and we encourage our members to bring guests just so they can kind of learn about FCE. But that's a day where we are going to have all kinds of good stuff at Gordonsville First Baptist Church. We have a meal, and we have awards for that, and the meal's only $8. So if you'd like to be interested in that, find an FCE member. We have 9 clubs across the community. Or you could always contact me at the extension office at 615-735-2900 again.
Okay, now FCE, how does somebody become a member of FCE?
Yeah, so we have 9 different clubs, and all of them are across the county. So you can either call me at the extension office, and we can kind of see which group would best fit you. Or if you know an FCE member, they're always trying to get more members into their clubs, so you can just ask them about it.
Okay, now I know some of them meet there at the chamber. They meet at various places across the county, and you have the one group that meets at the chamber, I think is it once a month?
Yes, it is once a month, so it doesn't take too much of your time, and then they have kind of projects that they do throughout the year. We just got done with our chocolate extravaganza. Right now we're trying to see where we can help at the Manual House, get that set up, and so it doesn't take too much of your time. It's always fun. They meet and they have a meal, and it's basically a voluntary group, so they volunteer with different places in the community, and then they also have an educational program there. They do some kind of fun thing like a craft, or every quarter I come to do just a lesson about something in the family and consumer science field.
Okay, well now I know you had an event here just this past month, the chocolate extravaganza. What did that? You shared that proceeds of that with some other group. What was that?
Yeah. So we do the chocolate extravaganza every year. It's on Valentine's Day, usually, unless Valentine's falls on a weekend, and then we'll try to do it ahead of time. But this year, the proceeds went to half of the county council, the FCE County Council, and half to the 4-H. So they got scholarships to go to camp, and they get to do all kinds of fun things at camp, like zip lining, but they also learn those important life skills as well. And then we, I think, are going to end up donating most of that money that we made back to the Manual House.
Okay, and that's a very worthy group, Emmanuel House. They're getting that started again, and that's the their official name, I think, is the Shelter for Women and Children. But they call it Emmanuel House, so that's great that you're doing that. You mentioned 4-H. I may be putting you on the spot. That's Katie's area, but do you know anything that's going on with 4-H right now?
Well, they're doing the chick chain, but they have already ordered those birds, but they're looking forward to getting those chicks in this spring, and then those children, they raise the chicks and then end up, they can auction them off at later in the year. So, but they have that going on right now, and then she's also has, I think, horse judging going on, archery practice going on, so she has a lot of things going on in the community.
Yeah, and I know they're very busy. Okay, and of course, Chris, he's a world traveler right now. He's out of state. Anything that you think he would want mentioned?
Well, he has Master Beef going on right now, but I think he's already into the program right now, so I can't think of anything that he has coming up off the top of my head.
Okay, well, during the year, UT Extension, you guys try to support farmers and things that are going on in agriculture here. So if they're wondering about something like that, Chris would be the one to contact?
Absolutely. He goes out on farm visits. If you have any questions about a plant, how to best raise that plant or anything like that, or have questions about your animals, anything like that, Chris is the person to go to. He makes farm visits all the time. So if you need help with anything like that, Chris would be glad to help you.
Yeah, I know on my farm, I had this plant that was just getting real prolific on it and couldn't figure out what it was. And, of course, got Chris to come out, and he identified it as Chinese privet, and it kind of gave me an idea of which way to go. So these guys, they'll really help you. Well, Mary, thank you. And I don't think we really introduced you, so tell them who you are.
I'm Mary Parker Draper, and I work at the UT Extension office in Smith County, and my area is Family and Consumer Sciences, and you can always give us a call if you have any questions about Family and Consumer Sciences, 4-H, which is Katie's area, and then Ag is Chris's area.
Okay, and that's 615-735-2900, is that right?
Sir.
Okay. Well, Mary, thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Well, we've got another guest here. You want to introduce yourself, tell them who you're with.
Mary Leslie Wakefield, Smith County Drug Prevention Coalition.
Okay, and we're obviously still here at the TB Sutton General Store. Have you seen anything you like?
Oh, I like everything here. I just like the building in general. This reminds me of the old buildings that I used to go in when I was a little girl. I just love it when I walk in and the floor creaks like it used to.
Yeah, and they got those narrow oak boards, you know, and it does make that sound. And they've got a balcony up there with a lot of displays and things, so it's pretty interesting. And I don't know if you can smell that, but they're evidently cooking dinner.
Yes, I smelled it back there. It smells wonderful.
Yeah, so evidently you can come and eat lunch here during the day, so this is a good place to be.
Yeah.
Who would have thought out in the middle of, well, the lake to be Granville and be something like this. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming. I think you got several things to talk about, but before you do, we had a meeting last night at the Chamber of Commerce, and I know it's already passed, but I think we need to talk to a little bit about that. You want to kind of clue people in on what went on?
Yes. We called it Hope for the Hurting, and it was just a way to network all the churches in Smith County to help in the opioid epidemic. So many churches want to help, but they're like, we don't know what to do. So this was an effort to get all the churches together and say, you know, here's what you can do. Jamie Harper is our regional coordinator, and he was there, and he gave us ideas. He would be glad to come to your church, to talk to your church if you would like to be a part of this. There's something called a Certified Recovery Church, and it's really, really simple. You just have to fill out a paper, and then Jamie would come to your church, and they can, if you're interested in doing a food pantry, a clothes pantry, if you want to just teach kids life skills, whatever your church is willing to do, they will help you with that. But if you don't want to do anything but just sign up and be a church, you still are connected to all the other recovery places. So if people show up in your church and they're saying, I need help, I've got an addiction, I don't know what to do, well, then you've got resources that you can reach out to. So,
Okay.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Well, now, and Jamie covers Middle Tennessee, so
Yes.
if somebody's watching this and they're from Manchester, he'd still be their contact. Is that right?
Yes, and even if he's not in your region, we have 3 of these people across the state of Tennessee. He would know who that was, and he would get you in touch with them.
And this is an initiative through the state government working with faith-based organizations like churches and any other kind of organization that is out in the community. Is that right?
That's right, and it's really amazing, Bill. We are the only state in the whole country that has the faith-based initiative. So it's like the eyes of the whole country are looking to see what the people of faith in Tennessee are going to do. So to me, it's exciting, and I know that the people of faith in Tennessee were going to step up and make great changes in this.
Well, and if you're out there and you know someone that has a opioid addiction or another addiction, and you want, and they want help, or you want to see them get help, it would be good to contact some of these folks. Now, the Smith County Drug Coalition, of course, give them the phone number for that.
Okay, 615-588-1622.
Okay, and if they don't know what their drug coalition number is, they can call you guys and you can give it to them. Is that right?
Yes, we'll be glad to help with anything. It's kind of confusing now to go through all the resources, and so we will be glad to help somebody if they call and say, I live in another county, what can I do? We're more than happy to help with that.
Yeah, and we've got a synergy kind of going on in Smith County. I know we've got the drug court that is working with folks that are in jail that have addictions and helping them to get back into society. I know that's working. We've got the community service coordinator, which I think is unusual. I don't believe other counties have someone like that that's helping people with misdemeanor violations to get their sentences reduced. And so we've got a lot of things going on in Smith County that I think is kind of unusual. I don't know if you've got anything to add to that.
I would just say Judge Collins is a trailblazer. There are lots of recovery courts in Tennessee, but not quite like his. He's opened it up to the coalition so we can do education with the parents. He is really, really active with the coalition. He helps us with Power in the Pew. So Judge Collins has been an awesome asset.
Well, I know we had a panel last night, and they answered questions. Judge Collins was one of the panelists. Over 70 people showed up for that meeting, and they got a lot of good information on what could be done to help people. One thing that was impressive, and I don't think he'd mind me telling his name, Colby. Colby was there, and he had went through the program, and he was very excited about the fact that he was no longer locked into that lifestyle. And you could tell that he was very happy that there was something like that for him to be able to go through. I think it was a great meeting, and there was a lot of folks there that could make a difference, I believe.
You're exactly right, Bill. And that really leads in good to our next event that we were going to talk about. It's called the Addicted Brain, and our speaker is Tim Hilton. And Tim was so deep in his addiction that I don't know that you could get much lower than Tim was, and really lost and not very much hope. But he got into recovery, and now he's a counselor. He works in Alabama. We won't hold that against him, though.
Oh, no.
Okay. But now he goes all over the United States giving this presentation about addiction, and it is the best presentation that I have ever heard. You don't have to be a medical person, just a regular person, and it will help you understand addiction like you never have before. You know, addiction's a cunning, baffling disease. It doesn't make sense, and it really just makes people angry and frustrated, and especially families. So that event is April 25th at 6 o'clock. It's at the Smith County Historic Courthouse.
Right on the square.
Right off the square. And our doors open at 5:30 because we're going to have some recovery groups there if you want to come in and visit and talk to them. And then Tim will start his presentation at 6. And Judge Collins is actually helping us with that. And Cumberland Heights is helping sponsor that too. We are so fortunate to have Tim. To get him to come to Smith County because, like I said, he goes all over the country. So it's free. So I really, really hope that everybody will take the time to come to this event.
Okay, and you don't have to live in Smith County to attend that event. And you also need to realize it's not just for someone that has an addiction problem. It's for people that know someone, or maybe you've got a family member that's got somebody in their family that's dealing with something like this, and this helps them to understand what's going on, because a lot of people don't, they have a misconception about what addiction is, and so this will help them. I think it's a wonderful thing that's going on, and we really appreciate you guys putting it together.
Oh, we're glad to. You're right about the addiction affecting the family. You know, the family kind of gets snarled and tangled up in the chaos and the craziness of addiction, and they really want to help, but a lot of times we help in the wrong way. So, you know, if you want to really find out about addiction, come to our event. You will learn more than you ever thought you would.
And you may say, well, what has that got to do with the Chamber of Commerce? Well, one of the mandates that we have in Smith County is try to develop our workforce, to bring business in, and to help basically help with the life in Smith County to make it better. And one of the things that is a fact of life is that if you have people that are tied up in drug addiction, they're not able to work. They're not able to pull their weight. And if you can pull somebody out of that, our unemployment rate right now is less than 3%. And so employers are begging for people to come to work. And anytime we can help somebody to get back into the workforce, that's something that we need to do. That's why this is important.
It's very important.
Any last words?
Thank you for having me, Bill.
Okay, well, Mary Leslie, thank you for being here. Okay. Folks, stay tuned to this. We'll have more about this in the next month that's coming on, because you guys are going to be doing events all the time, right?
Yes, we're going to try to keep it going in Smith County. It seems like we're on a good memento here.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Okay, we're sitting here at the Mayberry Diner, and did you even know there was a diner in Mayberry? Well, there is, but it's actually located in Granville, Tennessee. And if you turn around and look at the menu, they've got, let's see, chicken salad, hot ham and Swiss, turkey bacon clubs, thick bologna, fried or cold, pimento cheese, and then a loaded burger. And then if you were here last Wednesday, you would have been able on Wednesday to get meatloaf and mashed potatoes. My point, good place to eat, good place to come and eat lunch, and it's all open during the week. So if you're coming through Granville, Tennessee, Mayberry Diner might be the very place you need to be. And they've got a nice set of tables here, and more tables in the back, and they'll be happy to serve you. And with that said, we'd like to cut away now to Miss Grace Harville and Seasoned with Grace.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Seasoned with Grace. This month I'm going to be making one of my favorite recipes, a delicious breakfast casserole. It's very good for a on-the-go breakfast. And so we're going to start off with 1 pound of cooked sausage that's just been crumbled up into bite-sized pieces. And we're also going to add 1 block of softened cream cheese. This will make our casserole nice and creamy. And so we're just going to mix both of these ingredients together until they are fully combined. This is a recipe that is a huge favorite in my household. One person in particular that loves my breakfast casserole is my brother Gabe. Anytime that I make it, he is always the first one to get a piece. And this is also a great recipe to do if you have guests coming over and if you want to pop it in the day, a night before that you're making the casserole and your company is coming over. We have friends from South Carolina that come and visit us every year, and we always make it the night beforehand, and then we pop it in the oven next morning for breakfast, and it works out really good. So here is our sausage mixture. We're finished with it. And as far as our pan goes, or our baking dish, we have a 9x13 baking dish that has one package of crescent rolls on the bottom. You want to make sure that the entire crescent roll covers the bottom of your pan. And now we're going to add our sausage mixture. And you just want to make sure that you spread that evenly on the bottom of your pan. And now we're going to add 8 eggs that I've scrambled. We're just going to spread that evenly across our baking dish. Next, we're going to add 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese. And lastly, we're going to add another package of crescent rolls to the top of our casserole, and this will give it a nice crust. Alright, I have finished putting the crescent rolls on the top of our casserole, and it doesn't have to be like the bottom layer where it was covering the entire pan. The cheese will seep through the crescent rolls and it'll make the crust even more delicious. And so now we're going to put our casserole in the oven at 375 degrees for 20 minutes. Alright, our breakfast casserole is finished, and oh my goodness, it looks amazing. The crust from the crescent rolls, the cheese sopping out of it, look at all that. Yum, yum, yum. Like I said, this is a fantastic breakfast food for you and your family to have, and it's great for on the go as well. If you would like a copy of my breakfast casserole recipe or any of the recipes that I've done on Seasoned with Grace, you can go to my Facebook page, Seasoned with Grace. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I hope your day is seasoned with grace. We'll see you next time.
Okay, still at the Sutton store, and I had an old friend come by, actually a co-host, right?
Yes, I was, wasn't I, for several years?
Yeah, you were, and we missed you all that time too. Now you are in a new role, doing something completely new. Now you want to tell folks what you're. Introduce yourself for the folks that don't remember, and tell them what you're doing now. And I'm going to just hand you the mic.
Okay. Well, okay. He said introduce yourself. So in case you didn't know, I got married. So my name is. I still go by Janie PEDIGO, but. Janie PEDIGO Phillips. I married Darren Phillips in January of this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do work part-time at Wilson Bank and Trust. I do marketing, primarily the travel club. We have a wonderful travel club there at the bank. It's in all of our branches, and we are working right now to enhance the participation in the east region of the bank. You know, we're growing like crazy. We just opened an office recently in Franklin. So we are growing. We've got, I think, 29 different banks now. And so we're growing like crazy. But the east region, which includes Putnam County, Smith County, and DeKalb County, we are really got a big focus going, and that's sort of my job right now, is to work those 3 counties to increase the number of people that are traveling with us. So we've got special trips lined up just for those counties, DeKalb, Smith, and Putnam. But first I want to tell you, if you haven't gotten one of these, okay, okay. This is our travel book that we have. We have them in all of the offices, and this is the 2019 book. Believe it or not, by January, we had 6 trips completely full. Wow. By January. And so if you like one of our trips, get in on it quick because they do sell out fast. We have such a wonderful travel program. The destinations are phenomenal, and we do top-of-the-line trips. You don't have to worry about anything shabby on our trips because we do top of the line and we go all out to make sure our customers are, have a good experience. Also, something else too, if you are already a member of our bank, Wilson Bank and Trust, if you have at least a checking account and one other product, it can be a credit card, savings account, Christmas Club account, it can be just about anything, then you qualify for our travel club membership, which is free if you've got that. What it does, it gives you $20 off day trips, $200 off overnight trips. So it's a great, great way to save some money and travel. And in here, we have trips for just about every month of the year. Well, we do have trips every month of the year. They're either day trips or overnight trips. Our international trip this year is Bavaria and Switzerland. It's already full. Wow. Yeah. And we've got coming up this year, Christmas, we've got 3 trips for Christmas alone. New York at Christmas time. We've got Williamsburg at Christmas. And we've got, of course, the Opryland Christmas that we'll be doing.
Okay, well, a question now. This brochure that you were showing there, can they pick that up at any of the banks?
Any of the branches, you can pick this up. Just ask them for the new travel book. If they don't have one, they can get one to you, and they could even mail it to you if they wanted to.
Okay, another question. Okay. Another question. Say it's a family, like, for instance, in my family, I have a little 8-year-old girl that usually travels. In fact, I told my wife a long time ago, if she don't go, I ain't going. But how do you handle that with mixed like children and adults and things like that? Is it well, explain how you handle that.
Okay, we do have certain trips that probably wouldn't be appropriate for children. Let me give you an example, or at least children under a certain age. We have, and this is, I'm spilling the beans because this has not been announced. We have a trip that's going to be offered just for the East Region, DeKalb County, Smith County, and Putnam County. We're going to Brushy Mountain Prison, Penitentiary, and we're going to do a tour. You know, as they say, there's a lot of ghosts there. Yeah, I don't know if you, we're doing a lunch at the warden's table, and I'm spilling the beans too early. We haven't even publicized this yet, so you're hearing it first. And also we're doing a tour of the distillery, and it's going to be a great day shopping and everything. So that's one of the ones. Kids wouldn't be allowed to that, but then there's others that we do are having. One of the ones that we are doing, well, gosh, they had snowmobiling in Yellowstone Park 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you could bring your family to that. We had a Montana trip last year, I believe it was, and you could bring your whole family to that. So we're trying to branch out and provide trips, not just for senior citizens, but a lot of the trips we've got coming up are for middle-aged and younger. Like, for instance, we have one coming up. I'm calling it the Castles and Bourbon Tour in Kentucky. We're going to 2 castles. Did you know there were castles in Kentucky?
I did not.
Okay, we're going to 2 castles, and we're doing the Bourbon Trail. And we're going to be staying in Lexington and Bardstown, which Bardstown is the bourbon capital of the United States, maybe in the world, I don't know. Yeah,
well, and I did know there was a castle in Lexington. I used to pass it on the right. It's on the right as you're going in on New Circle, and I always thought it would be a great tour, so I'm glad somebody's getting to see that.
We are going to tour the castle. We're also planning on, if we can, we're going to eat a meal there. We haven't got all the details yet. But it's called, we would call it Versailles, like France. Versailles. But they call it Versailles, yes, castle, and it's phenomenal. Now, we won't be staying there. They only have like 7 rooms, and they're pretty pricey. Some of them are $900 a night. So, you know, we're not going to be staying there, but we are going to be going there.
Yeah, and if I remember right, the outside perimeter wall probably is way over 100 yards inside the,
yeah.
it's a big castle.
It's beautiful.
And I got corrected on that Versailles when I was up there. They said no, it's Versailles.
In Kentucky, it's Versailles. Like in Tennessee, Lafayette is Lafayette.
That's
so
right.
we got to remember that. But and then another one that we're working on. Let's see. Let me just go through this. Another one that we're working on. This is the one that a lot of women, and I'm sure men too, are going to want to hear about, is Waco, Texas, to the Magnolia Silos. Oh, yeah. So, you know, if you like Chip and Joanna Gaines on HGTV, you'll love that trip. And so we've already got dates set. If we can work it out, then, you know, that's coming up. So be watching. We will be promoting it probably this month. So be watching. It's not been promoted yet. You're hearing it first. But if everything goes through, we will be offering those 3 trips, first of all, just for this region. And then after that, it will be, if we don't get enough, then we'll be, you know, opening it up to other regions as well. But let me give you a list of the ones that we have that are still available, trips. Okay. In April 4th, we've got Loveless Cafe and Chaffin's Dinner Theater. They're going to have Minnie Pearl News from Grinder Switch. Unless it's gotten full in the last few days, it was still available. One that we'll be having in April also is Historic Rail Park Museum and Riverview at Hobson Grove, and that's in Bowling Green. So if you love, we've got a lot of train things this year. It's very popular. April 22nd through the 26th, Chicago. We've got a Chicago trip. In May, Hello Dolly. In August, Cape Cod. In September, we're going to the Paducah Quilt Show. So if you're a quilter, you need to go on the trip with us. It's just a day trip. I think I want to say it's like $55 or $75, something like that. Not too bad. And in October, Washington, D.C. November 29th through the December 3rd is New York at Christmas time. Wonderful trip. Always great. December 1st, Gaylord Opryland Country Christmas. And finally, December 5th through the 10th is Christmas Grand Illumination in Williamsburg. And so they say that's an amazing trip. But one of the things I want to tell you about that's very exciting, and it's brand new, and it's just started this year, is called our Travel Rewards Program. And on this trip, in this new program we've got, let's say that you go on a day trip. You get 50 points every time you go on a day trip, and you get 100 points every time you go on an overnight trip. You can build those points up to apply for a trip. You could even go on a free after you get your number of points up. So 250 points, when you get that many points, it gives you a $100 credit. If you have 500 points, it gives you a $225 credit, and 1,000 points is a $500 credit. So it's a great new program to reward you for traveling with us, and it saves you some money along the way. So we're excited.
That is exciting, and if they want to find out about these, they can actually stop at any branch, or they can give you a call. Now, how can they look on the internet or on the web page and find this, or how do they get in touch with you?
It's going on it will be on our website, www.wilsonbank.com, and as soon as we're just now putting this out. So you give it a little bit, but if you've already traveled with us this year, you will already have points set up for you. So it's already started. From the first trip we had in January on, it started. So your trips will accumulate. You can hold them over for the next year. It's a great way to travel with us.
Oh yeah, and now your office is located at the Putnam County branch.
In the Cookeville office, we're on the corner of Jefferson and Stevens, and I work usually on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but I may be adding a little extra time in and maybe going to some of the other counties. We're going to be having some focus group meetings to determine how we can spread out and reach different kinds of folks of different ages. And so we're going to be doing that the end of March. So we're going to be making some changes, and we may even do a referral program in the future. If you refer someone to us in a trip, it may give you points, but that's on down the road. Not yet, but soon.
Okay, so you got a lot of exciting things coming in the future then.
Yes.
Okay, well Miss Janie Phillips,
Janie Phillips.
It is really nice to have you here, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you some more as you tell us about these trips, because you have an open invitation to come back and talk with us, okay?
Well, I would love it, and as we get more information on this travel rewards and the possible referral program in the future, I would love to come back and talk. And also when we get our new trips in, so I'll keep you informed.
All right. Well, I think we're about to have lunch here at Granville.
Okay.
So or if my dad was from here, it's Granville. But anyway, we're about to have lunch here. So folks, we will be right back. Anthony and I are sitting here at the Mayberry Diner. And why don't you give us a little history about why the Mayberry Diner, or tell us anything that you can think of about the store, because I know you basically run this whole operation, right? If I wanted to know something, you're the person to contact, right?
I guess.
The head of the stream, right? Tell us about the Mayberry Diner, and I'm going to take a bite of this sandwich.
Okay, well, we serve sandwiches and soup daily, Wednesday through Saturday, and on Wednesday we have a meat and three. Dessert, sweet tea. We do that on Wednesdays, and then on Saturdays we usually have a soup of the day, and we do that Wednesday through Saturday. And we have hand-dipped ice cream, homemade milkshakes, and root beer floats.
Root beer floats.
Yes, sir.
I need to try one of them before I leave then.
Yes, it's calorie-free.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. Now, are you open on like all week, or what are your days that you're open that they can come and get a meal?
We're open Wednesday through Friday, 8 to 3. And then on Saturdays, we're open 8 to 8 because we have the Sutton Old Time Music Hour here on Saturday nights with dinner and a bluegrass show. And you can call and make reservations for that meal. It's catered by Seasons out of Gainesboro. Okay. But we also have breakfast here Wednesday through Saturday. Also, it starts at 8 o'clock.
Well, now, the museum, well, let me ask this first. Are you open on Sunday?
No, sir.
Okay. The museum, when is it open? Is it open the same hours you are, or is it just open on special occasions?
It's open Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 3, and then on Saturday from 10 to 5.
Okay. And I would presume that during the summer you have longer hours than you do during the winter time, or is it always the same?
It's always the same year round.
Okay. And there's other things to do around here. Of course, you're right next to the lake. So, and I'm sure there's campgrounds just down the road, and I know there's several things that goes on. In fact, there's 2 marinas on the lake. One of them is in Smith County, DeFeedy Creek Marina, and I know there's a lot of things that people can do around here. Is there a horse trail here nearby?
Yes, sir. Not even a mile up the road here, we have horse trails, and we also offer guided tours, too. If you don't have a horse of your own, they offer horses that you can rent and ride the trails too. Okay,
and of course there's, I presume there's a walking trail as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We also have a car museum, and the historic home, the Sutton home, is also available to tour. It's open now, and it's open all the way through December.
Okay. Are they open when the museum's open, same hours?
Same hours, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you have some major festivals that take on, and I know we talked earlier about that, but you may want to go over those again. What's coming up, say, April, June, July, August?
Okay, I'll tell them that, and I'll let you eat. Okay. Our first festival is our wine festival. It's April 13th. We also have a genealogy festival that same day. Our next festival is our Cornbread and Moonshine Bash, and that is the first Saturday of May. That's May the 4th. We also have an outdoor play on that day, and the day before we do a play over in our Pioneer Village, a Mayberry play with the Darlings and all. And then our next festival after that is Heritage Day, and that's Memorial Day weekend. We have a large car show with over 350 cars and over 150 vendors. And we all have all kinds of demonstrations going on in the Pioneer Village, from blacksmithing to basket weaving and outdoor cooking and things like that also.
Okay, so this is sort of the Disneyland of Tennessee. Not to give them a plug, but...
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, I am really pleased that you allowed us to come here, and it sounds like there's a lot of fun stuff going on. So, folks, if you want to be somewhere that something's happening, Granville's the place to be. You need to come by and visit, and especially on the weekends when the festival's going on. I have been here a few times, and you have parades and reenactments, and it's quite interesting to see. So thank you for letting us come.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, we'd like to tell you about some things that are coming up here in March and April. Spring Cleanup Day, March the 27th. That's a Wednesday. And it says make it a day on, not a day off. And if you want more information about that, you can talk to Barbara Knappel, 615-489-5900. And it basically is a day where they do cleanup in the county, and just actually it's a volunteer day. It's a good day to get out with people. UT Home Farm and Garden Lunch and Learn, April the 3rd, and the title is It's Bug Time in Tennessee. And Dr. Frank Hale is going to be talking, and that's a UT Extension service, and it's going to be at the Smith County Chamber of Commerce from 12 to 1. So if you want to get lunch and learn about bugs in Tennessee, and I guarantee you we've got a variety here, then that'll be a good place for you to go. Okay, the next, April the 5th and 12th at 6:30, April the 6th and 13th at 5:30, and April the 7th and 14th at 2:30. The community theater in the historic courthouse at the Hull Theater is doing the production of Charlotte's Web. All seats are reserved. Tickets are $12.15, and they can be purchased at the Smith County Drug Center in Carthage. So if you want to see production of Charlotte's Web, you can get your tickets there, or call us at the chamber, 615-735-2093, and we can get you in touch with these folks so that you can see that production. And if I can get the page here, we've got another couple of things going on. Smith County Senior Citizens present Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and New Brunswick. And it's a tour. They're going to be doing 13 days and 12 nights. And it's in July 15th through the 27th. And if you want to get more information about going on that trip, it's $1,579 for the trip. And you contact Jan Johnson at 615-735-0560. And I know they make some good trips and very enjoyable, so I think you would enjoy that. Okay, and then they've got another one to Miami, Key West, Florida. It's $800, and that's September the 15th through the 21st. And again, Jan Johnson, 735-0560. And Branson, they're going to Branson, Missouri, holiday show extravaganza, and that's November the 4th through the 9th, and that's a $700 trip. And then let's see what else we've got here. Smith County recovery meetings, Sunday at 7 p.m., Mondays at 7 at Carthage United Methodist. And these are AA meetings, Tuesday at 7 at New Life Church, Sunday at 5:30, and Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. At the Spot there in Carthage. And then Al-Anon meets Sunday at 9 a.m. at the Spot in Carthage. And then Hope for Life meets Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at the Carthage Full Gospel Church. So you can keep that in mind. We appreciate you watching our show today. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed being here at Granville, Tennessee. There's a lot of things going on here, and we're proud to have them as a member of the Smith County Chamber of Commerce, and we hope you'll come by and visit with them. I think you'll find something that you'll like. So until next time, God bless.